Yo, 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 welcome to the Boston Devi Show. Back with our co host, Sosa, in the building.
Yo, what's up?
Back at it again. You know what it is. Lampo. We out here.
That's what's up.
But we're just going to talk about the Eagles-Packers game. It's this Thursday. Since it's today, it's about 12 o'clock today. We're speaking to you at 12 o'clock. The game's going to start about 5, Pacific time. So, starting out Packers and Eagles, who do you think is going to win that game, bro?
Packers, Eagles. Well, my Broncos lost to the Packers this last weekend. Although, I got to be honest, Aaron Rodgers didn't have a huge career day or anything, but they got a balanced offense. They can pass and they can run, and their defense is better than average. It's not top of the league or anything, but they can get the third 3 and outs when they need them. And it seems like Aaron Rodgers gets the benefit of the doubt from the refs. I've started to notice that.
The Brady factor?
Yeah, so I'm going to go with the Packers in this one. I think the Eagles are playing good. They look good. Detroit beat them this last weekend. I think I had that one. I don't know if either of you guys had Detroit.
I think that was the pick that you picked.
That was the one? Okay, yeah. I had Detroit is looking real good. So the Eagles are definitely beatable. They're not playing their best football yet, but they're the type of team who tends to get better as the year goes on. And I got to be honest with you, Carson Wentz has still looked like Carson Wentz. He's still averaging 300 and something yards per game. He's throwing at least 2 touchdowns. He very, very rarely do you see that he had a bad game. So he's not costing them the game. It's different things that go here and there.
Yeah, it's definitely a good Thursday night matchup.
Yeah.
It's like usually Thursday night matchups are usually kind of a snore fest. It's usually kind of defensive game. So I'm kind of leaning more towards that. Yeah. And like Aaron Rodgers, he's the best. I'm not going to call him just a game manager. That's just like a skill he has. And I think he's like pretty much the greatest at that. So like you said, the defense, Green Bay's defense, like you said, you don't think it's the top tier defense, but at this rate, it is. Like on paper, stat wise, they've been the best. It's almost like they've been the best against the pass. They've stopped the pass completely. So it's like I got to go with the Packers too, and I feel like Devontae Adams is due for a big game. The Eagles' pass defense is pretty terrible. They're not. That's definitely a weak point. And another thing, Carson Wentz, he's definitely got the skills. He definitely puts up the yards. It's just what I'm afraid for of Carson Wentz is he takes a lot of big hits. He that's one thing he hasn't really learned is to shed the hit. He usually takes the bulk end of the hit if he gets hit. Have you noticed that?
Young quarterbacks need to look at Russell Wilson as an example of how not to take a hit. That man very rarely, even when he runs, he knows how to make that move at the last second to not take a big
take the bulk end of the hit. Like Carson Wentz, he just takes it on the chin.
Slammed,
He takes it on the chin, and he's been injured multiple times, so you never know if he's gonna get up sometimes.
Right. And speaking on the injury front, the Packers, although they are a pretty good team, one of the stronger teams in the league, they are one big hit away on Rodgers from being right where the Steelers are, or these other teams that have lost their quarterback. What else was I going to say? I was going to say something about Philly's defense. Oh, here's a name I'm going to throw at you. Look for the tight end for the Packers, Jimmy Graham. Look for Aaron Rodgers to look for him in the red zone because he's a big target. Drew Brees, he was one of Drew Brees' favorite guys when he was with the Saints. Drew Brees loved him.
Would you call him a Hall of Famer, Jimmy Graham? Let's give you the Thursday night picks and sit. All right. So you want to, if you're starting anybody, you got any of these people on your team, or if you can pick them up on waiver wire, do it. So start Devontae Adams, of course. He's due for a big game. He's been playing under his skill set, so he's guaranteed he's going to have a good game. MVS, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, secondary receiver for Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers loves him. He's going to see a lot of targets this game. And then third, Zach Ertz. He's Mr. Consistency on the Eagles. You might want to pick him up. He's definitely one of the best tight ends.
And Wentz likes throwing to him.
And Wentz loves him.
Wentz's security blanket.
Yeah, definitely. And Miles Sanders. This one's, you can either way you look at it. I mean, he hasn't put up the greatest numbers, but his attempts have been going up. And Jordan Howard, he's looking like he's getting a little flushed out of the running game as far as the Eagles go. So I like Miles Sanders in that matchup. All right, and these are your shits. Like I said, you want to sit Jordan Howard. I see Miles Sanders getting the bulk end of the attempts. And Nelson Aguilar, he's been seeing the lion's share of the passing because of injuries, and I see him being able to take a little bit of a rest because they're getting back Alshon Jeffrey, and like I see Alshon Jeffrey being kind of targeted more, but I also would say sit Alshon Jeffrey because he's injured. He's coming off an injury, and you never know if one play can just aggravate it again and he's out. So those are my sits. But who do you feel in that game?
Well, the name I already threw at you was Jimmy Graham.
Yeah,
because he's a huge red zone target for Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers is, when I pick my fantasy receivers and tight ends, I try to go for guys on teams with established quarterbacks that I know are going to be throwing it and know what the heck they're doing when they're throwing it. So I would go Jimmy Graham.
That's definitely
as a sleeper pick right there.
Definitely.
And then here's another one. The Packers have a running back. Is it
Aaron Jones?
Aaron Jones, yeah.
Aaron Jones.
Quietly, before you know it, by the end of the night, he may have a couple of rushing touchdowns and maybe 60, 70 yards rushing. Rodgers likes to throw out of the backfield too. Yep. So a lot of times it's Williams, the other Packer running back, Jamal Williams. But the other guy, Aaron Jones, he may be the guy who they use on first and second down and may end up breaking one for a touchdown here and there.
And he's right. The only reason I didn't put Aaron Jones in was because of the Eagles' pass defense or running defense. But no, yeah, easily Aaron Jones on the one or the two can easily get a couple touchdowns. And same with Jimmy Graham.
Also, this scenario is if the Packers get up and the Eagles are trying to come back and the Packers are trying to end the game late in the game, they're going to hand the ball off to Jones, and Jones could break one or score a late one to kind of put the game away. So
yep, definitely. So those are your starts and sits for Thursday Night Football. I'm Devi. It's Sosa. Yeah.
Take care, guys. All right. Also, tune in on Saturday. We're going to do the picks for Sunday and Monday, so check that out. We're going to get everything covered as far as who you should be sitting, who you should be thinking about starting, and just little different points here and there with your boy Devi and Sosa. Peace.